Mock Draft Tuesdays. Doesn't that have a nice ring to it? What's going on, Cowboys fans? It's your boy Foots here. Um, Joe Rodriguez should be joining us any minute now. So I'll kind of do the stall talk thing, and I'll kind of hit some of my thoughts from um, what's going on in Cowboys world. Stephen Jones talked today. So that's gonna uh, make waves, I'm sure. Um, and the all in talk. Uh, the all in talk is definitely gonna be um, the talk of the town for sure. Uh, and I think that that's gonna be fun when we get to it. The all in. What is all in? Can everybody hear me? I had the mic all the way over there. We're gonna do a live mock draft today, so get in, get your cousins in, get your aunties, your uncles in. We're gonna go back and forth, and then towards the end of it, we'll do a fan all-in mock draft. But today, I think that Foots is gonna do the draft. I'm gonna be the GM, and so me and Joe will be GMs, and we'll go like that. But before I do that, I wanted to actually open this up to the chat box. Who is some of your guys who are you guys watching for the Senior Bowl? Like, who are some of the players that you're watching? I gave my list. I'll be on tomorrow to talk with. Actually, as I open up my notes, I'll be on tomorrow to talk with Sky about my list. But I want to know, like, who are you guys watching? Like, who for you could check off some boxes? I think that most people will say, "Oh, trust the film," and I think that's the hipster thing. Trust the film, but I also do believe like some of these measurables, some of these. Well, first of all, the combine does matter. The combine does matter. I can honestly say the combine does matter. Number two, and most importantly, it checks off boxes that like some teams won't draft a corner if they're a 4.6, 4.5 guy. They just won't draft them. Some teams will look at it and say, man, this guy can run, and we may have to bump him up, and he may uh, check off even more boxes. I'll give y'all a guy, Deontay Banks, Maryland. Towards the end of the process last year, he had a really nice jump because of his testing numbers, and then the film was good enough. Then he goes to the Giants, and he has a nice rookie year. Now, he obviously couldn't guard a guy like CeeDee Lamb, but he goes to the Giants and he ended up having a really nice rookie year, a really nice campaign. I remember watching him against the Eagles late in the year and watching him make make plays, and I was like, wow. Uh, WV Country Boy, I really like Zach Frazier. Love Zach Frazier. The Foots is on the Zach Frazier. He's part of the Zach Frazier bandwagon, honestly. So anyway, when that's one way it could work for you. Another way that it could work against you, and I wouldn't say against you, but not Eli Ricks, but Keelan Ringo. Keelan Ringo blows up the combine, runs fast, jumps high, gets drafted in the fourth round, where I think people probably thought he was going to go higher than that. And, Philly and all their they're the all Georgia team, and I get that. But, dare I say, really none of those guys outside of Jordan Davis has been real guys or like real impact. I mean, Nolan Smith, okay. Keelan Ringo, not that great. The linebacker, not that great. Too small. Um, Jordan Davis, okay. Towards the end of the year, kind of tapered off. Is definitely like more of a two-down player, and that's been well documented. And that was well documented with him coming out of Georgia. Like that was some of his issues. So I mean, these are all some of the things that when you talk about the combine and drafting, and, all of these things, and the only reason why I even brought up Georgia players was because of the hype that was around Keely Ringo and lack thereof, and you just keep drafting Georgia players. Well, some of those guys just didn't pan out. So I'll go back over my list. Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin to me is a guy 6'3", mid 4'3" guy. I love Troy Franklin's tape. I don't know if everybody feels the same. I really, really like Troy Franklin. I think that he has great feet. I think that he's a great route runner. Everybody says, well, and told me to go watch Xavier Worthy. And while I like Xavier Worthy, the problem that I had at Texas and in that scheme was they didn't really ask him to run everything in the route tree. And now, if you guys, one thing I love about Chat Box this time of the year, you guys do the homework and watch the film. So if you guys are watching film and you've seen games where you saw Xavier Worthy just, route a guy up or do something spectacular or run a deep over or uncover in a way that you're like, Foots, no, this guy's a great route runner, then okay, cool. Show me that film or point me to that film because I didn't really see it. I think Xavier Worthy is a straight line player. Right now, that's what I saw. And the problem with those guys for me is when you're fast and you don't play with rhythm, that's an issue as a receiver. Like as a receiver, you have to play at different tempos. Like drummers that just play fast and don't know how to set the tempo or set the groove, that's not really the best feel either. I think you got to have that in your bag as far as being able to play at different tempos, play at different speeds, that type of thing, that sort of thing. So to me, that's one of my knocks that I had on Xavier Worthy. And I'll go back and watch more of his film. Adnan Mitchell was good, but I want to see Xavier Worthy, the route running part of it. So any of my Texas fans in here, let me know. What's up, everybody in the chat? What's up, Special K? All right, Trevor Wallace. Everybody's not on high. Yep, exactly like Jalen Hyatt. Everybody's not as high on Trevor Wallace as I am, but he's definitely on my watch list. I think he's actually going to blow the combine up. I think, one of the things that I heard Dane Brugler say about Wallace was, well, I don't trust his instincts. And I kind of want to push back on that a little bit. That Kentucky defense was just okay. I don't know how many players he had around him, like draftable grades around him. And I'm just not ready to attack his instincts when I did see flashes on film. And then when he went to the Senior Bowl, I thought he was one of the better linebackers at the Senior Bowl. And we know that he's physical and will come downhill. So if he has the tools, kind of like a Nick Bolton-esque type mold, I don't know if I'm ready to say that, well, he has bad instincts. Some of that is coaching. Some of that could be like, cause if Trevor Wallace is staring at you in the, third round with his measurables, it'd be hard to pass on as at a linebacker playing in the SEC. Now, if you're just asking him to do, you got to think the pieces around the linebacker position on this team outside of D tackle are still really good. I know that we didn't feel a certain way about the defense, and I just got done tweeting it. You heard Dan Quinn talking at the press conferences for the combine. He's talking about, well, the defense, I'm still trying to figure out what went wrong. Well, no, Dan, I don't know if you're trying to figure out what went wrong. Dan, I don't know if you had a good game plan. I don't know if you tried hard enough. And the only reason why I say I don't know if Dan tried game plan wise, for me was, okay, Dan, I can see them destroying us in the run game. Dan, they did whatever they wanted to in, the pass game. Like guys were running wide open in the pass game. So like badly, like the first 2-3 rounds. So like to me, I don't know if I like that whole Dan Quinn, he tried. No, Dan, you didn't. I would rather you say we just got smoked. Like I think we're at a point in media. I think that we're at a point in the world where like parents, I'm excuse me, not parents, parents too, because I do. They don't appreciate fluff. Like when you when you use your words, man, just like to me, just tell the truth. Like, bro, like, damn. I would rather you say, and I'll be completely honest with you, I would rather Dan Quinn say, bro, we just got beat. And I didn't do my best job. And that's enough. And you could say that in your coach voice. You know your coach voice, Dan. Ah, well, you know the guys, man. I mean, I'm really into them. I mean, I care about them. We do yoga together. We just didn't play our best, you know. And I just, man, like with that team, I really care about those guys. Because I do think that Dan Quinn does care about that team. And I do think that Dan Quinn is a great coach. But to say I'm still trying to figure out, dang, you're not trying to figure out. Now you're trying to figure out and put a team together. And the truth is, you were trying to figure out a head coaching position. And nobody's mad at you for that. By the way, nobody's mad at you. I know for a fact I'm not mad at you. But I also am like to me, I just don't like the whole, I just don't like the whole I'm okay on. Well, I'm trying to figure it out, and I didn't know what happened, bro. Stop. So defensively, yeah, I think that is one thing that I love about Mike Zimmer. Um, this team will have an identity. You know, if you just go do some research, Mike Zimmer has put together some of the best game plans to stop some of the best offenses. McVay, what he was able to do to Sean McVay when McVay was super, super hot coming to the league, taking the league by storm. What he was able to do to that offense is pretty special. I think that Mike will want a certain guy, um, and he'll want a certain athlete. So it'll be interesting to see just how we draft and how we attack the draft. Keon Coleman, next on the combine watch list for me. Keon Coleman, big, fast, physical athlete. I think that some of these guys not working out is great for Keon Coleman. I think that, Marvin Harrison Jr. and whoever else isn't going to run, good. Good. Don't. Yep, Medish. I said Medish. Pause that, chat. Y'all wild. I know y'all going to get crazy. I said Medish. I didn't mean to say Medish. Medish. We do have some new stuff coming out. Make sure you follow me on Foots and Coles, on IG, all those places. Make sure you hit me up. Keon Coleman, Adnan Mitchell is another receiver that I like Adnan, but the thing that scares me with those Texas guys is, again, I think the play caller in Sark is really good. I think Sark is like an awesome play caller, but then some of that stuff is like, is it college gimmicky Lincoln Riley stuff? Will some of this stuff stand pat in the NFL? Jalen Wright, running back from Tennessee, really like what he has to offer. And then Bo Braid, safety from Maryland. I've heard that he's going to blow the combine up. Let's get Joe in here. Let's start drafting. Actually, let's ask Joe some questions about his thoughts on the draft, and then we'll get this 3-round out the way, because I feel like it's going to be an interesting one for sure. There he is. What's going on, Joe? Joe, can you hear me? Joe. Joe, you got me?
Hey, folks, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Damn, man, I can't hear anything here.
Joe, we hear you.
Nice.
Can y'all hear Joe?
Okay, I think I got you.
You good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you
How
hear
you
me?
doing, buddy?
I'm good, man. Just getting over some of my vocals are kind of messed up.
Well, Joe, what I said when I talked to Joe on the phone, I said his vocals sounding like that. It adds a little grit to his voice, y'all. So don't don't, don't give him a hard time, and we won't keep Joe too long. But Joe, first of all, thank you to have you. Excited to have you. Thank you for coming on. This is our first time talking all draft season, which to me, Joe, that just can't happen. So
Yeah, that can't happen, man. It's
for
been
those
too
of you
long.
guys, yeah, that's way too long. for those of you guys who don't know, me and Joe, like I know now everybody's into the draft and covering it, and everybody's doing mocks and everybody. But like when we first started, it was like me, Joe, and Vach, like the only people who were like even talking draft or talking players or prospects. So me and Joe actually did a show. We did a show for what was that, 2 years, Joe?
Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah, man, it's go time goes by so fast.
Yeah, we recorded we recorded a show for it was 2 years. It was a podcast. It was Cowboys what was it, Joe? What do we call it?
Cowboys on.
Cowboys Huddle. The Huddle. Dang. Shout out to the Huddle. Where are my folks who was with us since the Huddle? Who was with me and Joe since the Huddle? If you wasn't with us since the Huddle, you wasn't with us. Joe, the Cowboys are all in capital A. Yeah, right. Joe, just for you this cycle, right? What does all in look like to you?
Oh, the all in.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, all in would be doing what the Cowboys haven't been doing. Go spend some money.
Hmm.
And be a little bit more aggressive with the draft. Be a little bit more smarter with your draft picks, and you know maybe go up, move up, and get somebody in a particular round that you want instead of waiting around on sitting on your hands like they've been doing the last couple of seasons.
It's all in to you, Joe, a mix of draft and free agency, or is it a mix of just draft to you?
Oh no, it's everything. It's your front office moves, Will McClay, Jerry, Steven,
Hmm.
free agency, signing your own players, letting certain players go, and the draft. So all in is all right. Let's stop screwing around here with the same old crap that hasn't been working.
Hmm.
We're gonna put all the chips on the table here and go for it,
Hmm.
which
Hmm.
they should have been doing. An organization should be going all in every year. So it's
Yeah.
kind of ridiculous that it's taken Jerry almost 30 years for him to even utter those words. And I still don't believe him. I think they're lying.
Yeah. All in is day three of free agency. To you, Joe.
Yeah.
Day three. You know, some of the some of the more oh, he can help us. Oh, we saw a lot of production. 1 year, what is it, $3 million deal, Joe? That's all in.
All in is going to be getting Tyron Smith back. You're going to play that game again.
Yeah.
You're going to be hostage to your left tackle. I'm not even really thinking about drafting a offensive tackle early because for
Yeah.
what? Honestly, for what? Like, they've been throwing little bum picks at tackle. It hasn't worked. Josh Ball, well, let's go.
I love
Walker
Joe. Joe
Little.
bringing his fastball early, baby.
Yeah, man, it's wild, bro. It's like, I don't know. They
No, no,
really
no.
got to
Keep going.
know.
I like because I'm gonna be honest with you. And I yelled at a few. There's no way I'm touching the lineman. I'm done. I'm done with. I'm first round. No, I'm not. I'm not drafting a lineman, Joe. You go Mozzie Smith, then you go because again, this team isn't gonna move on from Tyron. They drafted Tyron. They love Tyron. This team isn't gonna move on from Tyron.
Yeah, they're not. I honestly think that's their number one priority.
It's signing Tyron, correct?
Yeah, that's their number one free agent, guys. Get ready
That's all in.
for them. That's what we have to decipher what does all in for an 80-year-old Jerry mean? Does he even know what that means? You know what I mean? I'm serious, bro. Like I mean, I feel like he just says it just to get the younger crowd like all in, but I don't even know what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
And it's so funny when you see Steven, because Steven's like, all in our cap, we gotta sign Dak, we gotta sign CD. Um, hey dad, uh, all in means this on day four of Zimmer of somebody said Zimmer, Mike Zimmer, all it's all in. On day four of free agency, we're gonna sign the backup linebacker from the Colts. We're in. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, they've already started, right? They signed Snoop Connor. That's what they do. They sign these little small deals for, and then they set them up for the draft. You know, all of us are like, oh well, we did everything in free agency. Now we can be more flexible in the draft. Even we speak a bunch of BS sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I'm done with it.
yeah.
I'm not buying it anymore.
Well, I will say this. I'm definitely like I'll say this as a
Yeah,
fan of the team first, right? Um, and I'm pulling up the mock draft simulator, Joe. But as a fan of the team first, um, I will say this is one of those years where I'm definitely just like I want to wait and see. Um, Covering a team is different because you try to give fans hope and a realistic approach to things. But I mean, we have seen that Dak, if nothing else, I think he's a quarterback that needs two legit guys. And there's nothing wrong with that. Um, um, you know, because I mean, to me, I just don't look and so like that's where I'm at with the tackle situation because there's no left tackle in this class where we're drafting. If you're getting alt, cool. Because alt might be close to where Tyron is right now. Because at the end of the day, Tyron's a Hall of Fame pro player, right? But like I've seen it, we've seen
mm,
it with guys like who was the Giants tackle, Andrew Thomas. He developed a little bit better this year, but their other tackle, one of the tackles kind of just was drafted and just didn't hit. And they're trying to. I see it every time with left tackles at the top of the draft, dud out. Um, you even look at Carolina's tackle from 2 years ago. He had a great rookie year, dudded out. I'm looking at both tackles for Seattle kind of took a step back, and they were the talk of the town for that O line. And so I just when you get to the back half of the draft, I mean, and I know there was talks about Cowboys taking Matthew Bergeron last year. No, I get it. I respect it. I just don't know how a tackle helps this team right now. Even a center, I'm with it. I know everybody's attached themselves to Jackson Powers Johnson, Joe, and I don't know if you're on that boat as well. Um, but my problem with center is this. Okay. Do you have a center on this team that can do it? Number one, maybe you don't. Okay. Maybe we're done with, you know, Evan Neal. Thank you. Maybe we're done with Tyler Biotis because he's little, and that's fine. If you want to be done with Tyler Biotis, cool. But can TJ Bass snap? Can you get a center in the third round? We just went through a draft with all guys who were literally, these are all Mozzie developmental. Overshown hurt, and he was a project. I mean, he just happened to flash in preseason. And Luke Schoonmaker, developmental, wasn't ready. The most questionable pick of the draft, if we're being honest. Try to make sense of the Luke Schoonmaker pick. Oh, great blocker. Oh, he played in line, played in Michigan. He's physical. And that's all well and good. But like some of the players you had on the board, and you picked Luke Schoonmaker, cool. Joe, this year, I want a guy who I know what he's good at.
yeah.
Right now, tell me exactly how he helps his team right now. And so that's me thinking all in, Joe, for me. Because I just don't think we can waste that time. You got any thoughts to add?
No, I mean that's what it is. For me, I do have a center. I like Zach Frazier myself.
Love Zach Frazier, Joe, by the way.
Yeah, I like him there, and I like him even in the trade down scenario. But
Yes, yes. You could talk me
um,
into it.
Yeah, but for like the centers that are on the team, I think it's kind of risky because you're looking at Hoffman and TJ Bass. So it's like, are you getting better than Biadish, or are you just having somebody there that can get you through 17 games? Like, I don't want to get back to the days where we had centers coming in and out,
Yeah.
of the lineup, and they were just no good. And then we finally drafted Frederick. Pre Frederick, we had a whole bunch of guys coming in and out at center. It sucked for so many years. That's my only fear. That's why if it's me, I'm taking a center there.
Yeah. Okay, so you are.
If they're there,
Can I ask you a question, Joe? I
yeah,
know you wouldn't take Frazier there. Um, I think that's a little at 24, Joe. Frazier
yeah, I'll take Frazier there.
at 24. Okay, that's
Yeah,
hey. You know what, Joe? One thing I like about you, you've developed your own thoughts and you watch a lot of college football, so you don't get on these guys late. If you had to pigeonhole me, I would take Graham Barton. I like JPJ. I just don't like him more than Graham Barton. Um, I don't. I would even draft Zach Zenner from Michigan. I know when you say Michigan, Cowboys fans get scared, but I love Zach Zenner. Before the injury, he was a stud, probably the highest rated
mm,
interior lineman in this draft before the injury, but he's an interior lineman, so people forget about him. Joe, I am married to Keon Coleman. I think that he's light years above Michael Gallup. People got to understand, Michael Gallup was never a first round talent to begin with. He developed, but he never had this type of ceiling and had never had this type of athleticism. The athleticism that Keon Coleman does have. People got to remember Jordan Travis was Keon Coleman's quarterback. People have to remember the offense that he played in. A lot of just no rhythm. I like Trey Benson, but it was Trey Benson do it. Okay, if Trey Benson can't do it, Keon Coleman, can you please get us out of Dodge? So I just don't. I would love a receiver in this class. I just look at it. One of my other guys that I want players that I want fans to watch is Troy Franklin. He's gonna run really fast. So I'm all in on receiver at 24. I'm even in at I'm even in on receiver and trade back if you have to. I'm in on center if you trade back. But if it's at 24, this team will draft a tackle at 24. I don't think this team drafts a center at 24, Joe.
I think that I think the main thing is if they do keep Tyron here, I think that's it. They're not going to do a first round tackle,
Yeah.
but I think guard and center I think will be on the board. I like the idea of a wide receiver because frankly, I don't think we have anything outside of Lamb.
Yeah,
Cook,
people kill me with Cooks. Yeah, finish
Cook,
that thought,
but
Joe.
he showed up at the end of the year. He's hot and cold. He's more like a three, bro.
He's a three, Joe. He's a
He's a
three.
three. Jalen Tolbert ain't gonna be shit. So I honestly would not mind, bro. Like, give me somebody else, man. Dude, I mean, look what the Vikings did.
That-
You got Justin Jefferson. You
It,
got
it went right back to the well with Addison.
went
Like,
back to the
screw it.
wall. Yeah. So you got your one and two, and then you got you know. I mean, they're loaded, dude. They got good weapons there. They got I forgot the other guy's name, man.
They may possibly flip Jefferson. They're listening to offers for Jefferson.
And that's what you can do, right? So
Hello.
yeah, man. So I wouldn't say no to wide receiver in the first round, second or third. I'm open for it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of receivers here. Um, Now I would be disappointed if we don't touch receiver until like the fourth or later rounds. I don't want that. I don't
Yeah,
want another Jalen Brooks, another Noah Brown. Give me a premier guy in the first 3 rounds.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah, dude. Listen to me. This is why I love Joe because that Viking example. I don't think that people think about that. Yes, thank you, Ultra Cowboy. I'm gonna make you a moderator. No more alignment. I'm with it. I can understand it in a trade back situation, but I'm with Joe. I don't think like as good as Cooks is. I don't know if Cooks is still the same. And like I'm with Joe. Just give me a guy who big catch radius. If you want to go Brian Thomas, the good thing about that second three, because Rome Odunze is gonna go in the top 10. I believe he won't
Yeah.
get past 12. Rome is my guy. People love Malik Neighbors. I mean, heck, Lance Zierlein has Malik Neighbors as his number one player in the draft over Marvin Harrison Jr. So
Yeah, I've seen that.
yeah, did you
I've
see
seen
that
that
on
too.
NFL.com?
I've seen it from other analysts too. So
Yeah, they have Neighbors over. He has Neighbors over everyone. Which okay, cool. I don't know about that, but okay.
yeah,
Honestly, me personally, I have Joe Alt and Marvin Harrison as the best two players in this draft.
they really are, man. If you want a sure shot, you're not gonna miss player. It's those two guys.
It's all that tackle, cleanest player. Used to be a tight end in high school. His dad, I did a lot of work on his dad kept him at tight end just to keep his feet clean. Cleanest tackle in his class, not close. Marvin Harrison, I mean, his quarterback play was so awful. And that's why the quarterback transferred from Ohio State because I mean he was done. But anyway, we're not here to talk Marvin Harrison or even the top of the draft. But the next three, to me, the next three is Troy Franklin Jr. Okay, not junior. I don't know if he's a junior or not. I'm probably thinking Marvin Harrison Jr. But Troy Franklin, Brian Thomas Jr. He's a junior. Keon Coleman. Those are the next three. I'm okay with any of the three. I do have Keon 1, Franklin 2, and then Thomas Jr. 3. But I like any of the three. I was on them early. I like any of the three, but give me one of those guys. I think they're better players also than the lineman that would be right there. Like I do think that when you slot the player, I do think that Keon Coleman is a better player than Jackson Powers Johnson. I mean, that's just me. I know that every Cowboy fan wants to draft Powers Johnson, and I'm cool. He's the flavor of the month. Just like last year, it was Steve Avila. I'm with you,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
switch your mind for this pick to be somebody like Tyler Guyton. Like, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, you know how it goes, Joe.
Oh yeah.
So anyway, Joe, we're gonna start up the simulator. Excited for it. Let me share my screen. Um, and also, guys, just thank you guys so much. Oh, hold on. Thank you guys so much for just jumping on. It's gonna be a fun one. We'll let you guys tap in. I don't know if we're gonna uh me and Joe will handle it though. All right. So if you guys try to GM, we'll kick you out of the GM room. All right, here we go, Joe. Starting the draft. Caleb Williams 1. Ooh, that's interesting. Okay. I already see some interesting things, Joe. All right. In this situation, Jaden Daniels plummets, Joe. And this is a real deal because guess what?
Plummets to where? Where's he
He
at,
he's still available at pick 24.
dude? I'm pulling the trigger on Jaden if he's there, man.
Let, and
That's
now
gonna. That's gonna.
that's interesting, right? But the problem is by that time we would have known that Dallas is giving Dak 60 million and they're gonna pay the quarterback. We know it. So that is what it is. Let's look at the top of the draft. Marvin Harrison, which is something that can happen. Malik Neighbors, we just talked about him going high. Caleb Drake 1 and 2. That's pretty much a lock for me. Let's go to the middle of the draft, Joe, or the first round. Byron Murphy to the Jets. I don't know if that makes sense. They really need tackle and receiver. So
Man,
I think that
that seems real high for him, man.
yeah, I'm out on Murphy, me personally, as
God,
being
that's
like,
high.
yeah, everybody has him as the next, him and Sweat, they're another, but I don't,
Oh yeah, sweat. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if he's this Aaron Donald player that everybody's making him out to be. Fashanu's interesting because I like him, but then the Ohio State tape really bothered me. Like it was bad. I remember watching that game live and he was beat a lot. Um, so I just don't know, like him being drafted over Joe Alt, that's not even a chance. Joe Alt going to the Giants, I think that's a great pick. Brock Bowers to Jim Harbaugh is a great pick. Now we get down to where we're picking at. I would love to have Marius Mims, but he's gone now. He is a tackle that was serious upside, and everybody's center is gone. He's with Seattle, gone out of there. So now Brian Thomas Jr. went right before the Cowboys. So now we come over to our board. Troy Franklin, I take him. Graham Barton, I take him. A trade back situation we could look at. Peyton Wilson is there. JJ McCarthy's there. Quarterbacks is still quarterbacks on the board. Will we want to trade back? Possibly. Keon Coleman is still there. So Joe, in this scenario, I'm not even looking at the chat box because I know they're gonna sway me to do things that I don't want to do. What are you liking, Joe? Is there some positions that I need to look at? What are you thinking?
Um, so in this scenario, are we going to pretend Jaden Daniels really isn't going to be there at 24? Or, man, because if it were me, man, I'd be jumping up and down the table for Jaden Daniels right there. But I don't know. That just doesn't seem realistic to me.
No.
So
But crazier things have happened. Lamar Jackson fell basically out of the first round. I think he did fall at the end of the first, but whatever.
yeah,
Crazier things have happened.
I might just pretend that he's not there. I don't because I
Okay.
don't think that's realistic.
Okay.
But if we get close, I mean, maybe in another few months, maybe it is. I don't know. But right now, uh, so yeah, I don't think there's any first round running backs in this draft either.
Yeah.
Wide receiver, maybe linebacker,
Yeah, I was just looking at
edge, maybe.
let's look at Edge. That's a good one, Joe. Let's look at Edge. Braswell hanging around. I'm okay. I could go Darius Robinson and sleep at night. For
What do
sure.
you think about Chop? Is he too small for you? Like, what's
I
your
think
thoughts on
Chop is
Chop?
too. I think I don't like Chop versus the run for this team.
Braylon Trice?
Yeah, I don't like Chop versus the
I
run
think that was
for
a,
this team.
yeah, I think, yeah, man. And that's the thing too, man. A lot of teams that draft in this area for ends typically, historically, have gotten the short end of the stick. Obviously, not everybody's TJ Watt, but there's a whole lot of the, you know, who was the guy? Harris, he
Yeah.
was one. There's a lot of guys in those late 20s that just never really panned out, man. Taco was another one. There's a lot of them. So I'm kind of iffy on taking an end in the 20s. So I don't think I would take an edge guy here. What
So
about quarterbacks, DBs?
let's go to the DBs here. I think Cooper did come off the board. Let's look at it. I think Cooper DeJean is off. He would be my guy. This team won't draft a safety. They would go corner. I like Rakestraw a lot. Kyrie Jackson, I'm cool on. I like TJ Tampa, but I like Rakestraw. I wouldn't mind drafting him here, me personally. Um,
These are the corners that are available.
yeah,
Oh,
kind of slim pickings, right?
slim pickings, but we'll see what the combine does. The combine, that's what I love about the combine. You get these guys, they shoot up the draft boards. You know
Let's
what I
look.
mean?
Let's look at linebacker. Edrin Cooper is there. Junior Colson's there. My guy. So I think Joe. I think for me, I would go Troy Franklin here. If Jaden Daniels isn't here, and you get Dak a weapon on the other side of CD who can run every route in the route tree. I've called him Justin Jefferson. He won't have any pressure on him to be a guy. Just go out there and just do what you did at Oregon. CD's going to get most of the targets early on. Then we ease him in. He's an 800-yard receiver. Can I talk you into that?
Yeah, man. I'm down for a wide receiver, like I said. So the best one available. Let's rock and roll, man.
Troy Franklin, it is, guys. Okay. Oh, this is good, man. And I passed on Keon just for the simple fact I didn't want to be too political. And not let me not say political, but I didn't want to be too well, first all you want to draft is Keon. So I did something different and we drafted Troy Franklin. All right. Oh, you know what? I only did one. Let's do a new mock. I only did one round. It was supposed to be three. Oh, oh. I gotta let me do another. Let me get to another simulator because PFF only gives you I think one. Let's go to another simulator, Pro Football. but hopefully we can get him again. Mock draft simulator. But anyway, yeah. So I would be okay with that, Joe. Me personally, with going the receiver. If we could talk about that, I would be okay with that. Um, I would be perfectly fine with that, honestly. Let's see. Let's just draft for the Cowboys. Um, and Joe, I'm telling you now, I have a feeling that me personally, Foots has a feeling that um JJ McCarthy is gonna fly up boards. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but like teams are gonna find a way to like JJ McCarthy. I think he'll be there at 24. So if you want to bail, you can bail. You know what I mean?
I agree. I think he's gonna move up boards, man. I don't know why he's getting so much hate. So much hate. I think he's a solid player. You put him in the right system too, man. You put him in the Sean McVay system with the Rams or the Vikings or Shanahan. He'll excel.
Yeah,
So I think he's gonna be all right.
yeah. I think if he can go to a team where he could sit for a year, Joe, and I'm just letting the simulator catch up. I think if he can go to a team where he could sit for a year, Joe, I think that would make a whole lot of sense for him. Um, just simply because, like, it's simply just what you just said, like, being able to, um, being able to sit, um, develop, and then he has all the tools. He has the athletic profile, really good athlete, sneaky good runner,
Hmm.
polarizing player, but it is what it is. All right, so Joe, I'm gonna get back to the share, and then I'll let you make this next pick. I talked you into the receiver, so I got my receiver. So I'm going to the back of the room. I'm gonna let Joe. Joe, we are not looking at the comments. We're gonna let the comments. You guys are gonna pick a pick here and probably next week or when we do the next live one. But I want to just get Joe. So Joe, as much as you can, try not to look at the comments. Um, all right, here we go, Joe. I'm sharing. This is what you got on the board. I'm sharing. Now think pairing too, Joe, how we want to pair this thing up players wise, because me all in means I need guys that could play. So rated wise, Tyler Newman staring at you. Jatavian Sanders. Chris Boswell has fell. Patrick Paul is still there. Chris Jenkins, good player. Jonathan Brooks, Joe, polarizing running back. Roman Wilson, Bo Braid, my guy, is still there. Um, so you got some guys, Joe. What you thinking? The center out of Georgia is there. Who you thinking?
We're here in the second round,
Yeah,
so we already got
Troy
Franklin
Franklin's
in the
locked.
first.
Yep.
Hmm. Let's look at linebackers.
Okay, let's go. Let's look at some backers. Tyron Hopper, excuse me. Like him. Not a bad player. Cedric Gray, a lot of Cowboys fans like him as well. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. staring at you. I'm not gonna say anything that would. Peyton Wilson's still there. Interesting. Um, maybe the medicals didn't check out. Who knows? Trevor Wallace is there. So that's what you got for linebackers, Joe. Joe.
Yeah. Can you click on linebacker?
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. So you got Trotter, Trevin. I would take Trevin there. I took Trevin in my mock,
I would take Trevor Wallace.
but yeah,
I take him in a heartbeat, Joe. Like I love Trevor Wallace's game, and he's gonna go crazy at the combine. By the way,
that's what I'm afraid of. I don't like. I have him as in the second right now in my mock draft, but if he does what I think he's gonna do, he might be one of these guys that's going to be at the bottom of the first, maybe even more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting. Peyton Wilson, I like him, but
I'm okay on Peyton. I
some
know
of
what
the
you're about to say. Something just I'm
some
not.
of the injury stuff, right?
It's just too many injuries, dude. Like the
Um,
shoulders and the knee early on, and I'm just like, we're not doing that again. Give me somebody who wants to be physical.
yeah, so I would look at that. Um, Cornerback, might look at a cornerback there. All right, let me ask you this first for cornerback for this season. Is it going to be Diggs and Bland, or are they going to go somebody? Are they going to bring back Gilmore?
I would bring back Gilly, me personally, but I see where you're going. It could be a sneaky need, bro.
Yeah,
It could be a very sneaky need. I'm not gonna lie to you.
and so that might be one. And especially if they don't bring back Jordan Lewis, and then you're kind of thin there.
That's true.
I honestly don't think McQuamu and Wright are going to be players that fit Zimmer's type of profile. Um,
You're right.
Edge, yeah. Who we got left on the edge?
Let's go look at it. Darius Robinson's here. I make the he's flying up boards, but I don't know if I like his athletic profile for being what Zimmer will want to stop the run. So that kind of scares me with Austin Booker, but I like him. Edge gets kind of weak here.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. I was looking at this could be like another 2014 where Demarcus Lawrence is your last kind of pressure kind of guy. So if you
Hmm.
look back there at the edge, Booker from Kansas, he he's a guy, and then you got Jonah Ellis. He's another kind of guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it
Running
gets
back
really
interest you, Joe?
Broswell's there too, but I don't know. I think he's a little short.
Yeah.
Which one you said?
Does running back interest you?
If Benson is there, that would be a guy I would look at. Is
Benson
he
is
gone?
gone. Yeah, he's gone.
Brooks, I don't care for Brooks. Who else is up in here? Bucky
Irving,
Irving,
Shipley.
Shipley, McCaffrey 2.0. Oh, yeah. I don't think I'll take running back here in the second.
All right, let's go. Let's go, Trevin. Let's be happy with that.
Let's go linebacker.
Let's go linebacker. Sure's up the middle. Micah can play next to him. He's gonna have an athletic profile. Um, and we're good at linebacker. Him over Sean Micah. You're good to go. Trevor Wallace, second round pick. We need you to be Nick Bolton for us. All right, Joe.
Dude, that's exactly what I see in him. That is a great comp for him.
Yeah, man.
A
That's
taller Nick Bolton. I mean, you
uh,
gotta love that.
yeah, taller. Don't ask. I don't think year one you ask him to read the whole field. Give him certain things he does. Him and Overshown. Let's get what's his name off the field. The LSU kid, love him, but it's time to move on. Just wasn't physical enough. And let's get him off the field. Now, something interesting would be if Junior Colson was still sitting there, maybe double dipping. But Joe, for the sake of time, because I don't want to hold you too long. If Blake Corum was sitting here in the third round, you'd have to take him. Um, you would have to figure out what you do with your line. The only thing I could possibly see is if some of these guys like Phil, like let's look at the centers real quick. I do like Limmer. I like Bortolini as well too. So that could be it would be between Bortolini or the running back, Blake Corum. Let's do this. Let's ask the chat for this one. You guys get to make this pick. We went Trevor Wallace. We went Troy Franklin. Now we're going center or running back. The first 10, I'm gonna grade the first 10. So you guys let me know. Center or running back, let me know. One. We got one for center, Joe. We got one. Brenda went center. Come on, y'all. Get your votes in there. Type it in the chat. What do you want? We got one for center. center, 2 for center, Joe, 3 for center. Oh, 1 for running back. So it's running back making a comeback, Joe. Running back making a comeback. It's 3 or 4. Running back, Joe, Brinson Henson. Running back, Melvin.
It looks like it's running back, huh?
Looks like it's running back, Joe. We're gonna go running back. We're gonna go Blake Corum, and we're gonna call this a draft. Um, this is our mock draft Mondays. Joe, how do you feel about that draft? Troy Franklin.
I like it.
Wow,
Yeah.
what a drop, Joe.
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah. So, man, it's gonna be it's gonna be fun, man. Yeah, Corum is interesting to me because how will he do in the pros? Right? I know he's taller. He's a better player than Vaughn.
Yeah.
Um, I think his burst is a lot better too.
Yeah.
I could be sold on Corum there, you know.
Yeah.
But I think the sweet spot for running back is going to be your third and fourth round. So I think we hit that, right there.
Yeah. No, Joe, I completely agree, man. I would be extremely, extremely happy with that pick. What do we go? We went Troy, we went uh Trevin. People Trevin can play. We went Troy, we went Trevin, and we went Blake. So that makes a lot of sense to me. I love Dane, but I don't agree with everything that Dane says. And to be honest with you, saying that he has bad instincts, I wouldn't want to put that on a player. I don't know if he has bad instincts. It's also like what to me, um, to me, what this is me, right? I don't like the whole, you know, bad instincts or what. We don't know what these guys were asked to do.
Who said that? Who said
Dan Instinct said that about Trevor Wallace, and I said, well, wait a minute. You know, I just watched Dan Quinn, as good as a coach as he is,
Mhm.
ask Mozzie to rush the passer. So
Yeah.
sometimes coaches do some weird things, bro, where it's like, what is he being told? What was he being coached to do? Like, I'm not ready to give up on Mozzie because number one, I think it's too early. Number two, it's clear Dan, even in the playoff game, didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
So
The one thing that I saw was that everybody has a different take on players, right? So
mm,
even Dane, he's one of my favorite guys. Um, but I use him more as a guide,
yeah.
not a gospel. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because there's a lot of things on Dane's evaluations that I don't really like as far as quarterbacks go. Um, so it's really to each their own when it comes to evaluation.
Man, that's it. That's all to me, Joe. So Joe, thank you for joining, man. Thank you. Uh, thank you also for just for doing this mock draft. I know that's putting a lot on you because like when you didn't, if you didn't plan for it, it's like, dang, I got to be prepared, like mixing the players. So thank you for doing that, Joe. Where can people find you at, man?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube, Cowboys Blog, baby. Just look me up there.
Man,
You'll hit me up. Twitter's Cowboys Blog Net. I appreciate you. Hopefully next time my throat laryngitis will be cleared up and I'll be back to normal.
for Joe Rob, man, it's your boy Foots the King. Make sure you guys like, share, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of it. All right. Peace.